Adam22 is keeping it locked in like a hot Cheeto burrito, man. This is getting extra tricky. He says Drakeo security guard says YG brandished a knife during the fatal backstage brawl. Adam22 is making it clear that he wants to see Munchie B and Draco the Ruler, and YG in jail for the unalivement of Draco the Ruler. Let's get into it.
All right, so this one dropped late night. So we had to lock in and cover this extremely huge development that is exploding onto the internet. So basically, the other day when I made a video about the Drakeo YG situation, where we were basically reporting on the fact that YG had been questioned by CHP. When I made that video, I suggested that at one point a security guard was basically telling on somebody involved in all this. Now, I didn't necessarily understand that it was going to be YG himself. Now, obviously, you would think that if you were in YG's position, if you were a rapper who has had huge hits and presumably has a whole host of different thugged out gangster homies, that you would not be placing yourself anywhere near an actual attempt on another rapper's life, especially when you're at a show that you've been booked to play, that he's also booked to play. But I'm not gonna lie, this is a
but you gotta get your chili. What you supposed to do? Not get your money because of your street beef?
rumor that I heard in the very early days of Draco's murder. There's a girl who used to work at No Jumper, and I remember at one point she said something like, YG killed that motherfucker. And I'm just like, maybe he knows who did, or maybe he paid or something. And she just looked at me. And I remember thinking, like, what is that? Like, you're just gonna shoot me a look? You're really gonna tell me that YG was part of the brutal group stabbing that took Draco's life? I couldn't believe it. But now we've got Draco's personal security guard, Coop. Do you guys know who Coop is?
This is crazy situation, and it's crazy that they're putting names in the faces to all these people.
You've seen Coop. If you've watched No Jumper over the years, you've seen Coop, because Coop has been my security many times. Coop used to be Draco's security all the time. Coop still does security from No Jumper when we need it from time to time. Coop does security for Desto Dub, awful lot of cough syrup on a consistent basis. And he's out here and he is saying that this is a real thing. That YG brandished a knife and stabbed Draco in the melee that ultimately resulted in his death. Now, myself, I cannot confirm or deny this. I am just reading out the article as we have it here. A former security guard for Draco the Ruler testified under oath that he saw rapper YG produce a knife and slash it towards him during the 2021 backstage fight in which Draco was...
Damn it, man. Sheesh, that's gonna get ugly.
Fatally stabbed, according to recently obtained deposition excerpts. Alric Cooper, that's Coop, who I was just talking about. I'm not gonna show a picture of him on camera because, damn, I feel like he's gonna be getting some heat over this, to say the least. Coop, who was part of Draco's security detail at the Once Upon a Time in LA festival, said that YG was front and center during the December 18th, 2021 brawl, and was one of the three men he saw carrying what appeared to be short, improvised knives. He said that YG, whose real name is Keenan Jackson, was wearing a ski mask, but he recognized the rapper's hazel eyes as he tried to protect Draco, whose legal name was Daryl Caldwell Jr.
This is gonna cause us problem right here. Now, this comes out to be true. It's gonna be pretty bad for YG, man. YG is gonna be not even sitting next to Dirk. YG going to the state pen. He not even going to the feds.
Representatives for YG did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Here's something to think about. When those cops ran down on YG on Thursday morning, you think they told him about this? You think they said, we got an eyewitness from Draco's team? A guy with a clean criminal record who's worked as a security guard for years and years, who's not a gang member, a squeaky clean witness, if I ever even conceived of one, that would be Coop. I'm sure they told YG. Did YG know that before? I don't know. Is there a connection between the fact that they told YG that Thursday morning and that YG was shit-faced on stage Thursday night with the game? I don't know. I don't know if there's a connection, but it is notable. The excerpts come from Cooper's March 19th, 2025 deposition, which surfaced, so March 19th, 2025.
Damn, so that was last year when that happened.
So this is a little over a year ago. So, I was kind of wondering why it took so long for this to come out. Maybe Coop was thinking about not talking about it. I'm not sure. It surfaced last month in a court filing by attorneys representing Draco's family in a civil lawsuit against festival organizers and security contractors. So this wasn't really supposed to come out. It came out because of the suit against Live Nation and them. It adds more context to the fight after law enforcement investigating the killing searched a Burbank property and detained YG in the process on Thursday. The California Highway Patrol, with help from the Burbank Police Department's SWAT team, briefly detained YG. We already know that. YG has repeatedly denied involvement, which we already know. A CHP spokesperson said that the agency cannot comment as this is an ongoing and open investigation. When asked if YG was a suspect or a person of interest in the case, no one has been arrested. Got it. There's more, though.
No one's been arrested yet, but it seems like with all this information being spread through the internet, an arrest is for sure on the way, and it's looking like they know who they want to target.
Son and other relatives, along with Cooper, sued Live Nation. All right, we already know about that part. Cooper, this is more of what Coop said. Coop testified that Draco's group was confronted by at least 20 to 25 people backstage. When asked whether he recognized anyone in the opposing group, Cooper named only YG. He was directly involved in the fight, an attorney for Draco's family asked. Yeah, Cooper answered, front and center.
So it doesn't seem like Cooper wants anybody but YG to really take the blame for this. It doesn't seem like the Cooper dude is really worried about security or all these random people that Flacco keeps involving that had nothing to do with the situation, because Flacco's just adding people into the situation at this point. But when it's all said and done, Flacco will make up his stories. But as we're listening to the actual police report, we're listening to the actual lawsuit, only YG, unfortunately, is being named by Draco Security.
Cooper said the attackers divided into groups and surrounded Draco's party near the artist entrance. Some wore red clothing, ski masks, or hoodies, and Cooper said that festival security personnel failed to intervene and instead closed two gates that could have provided an escape route. They actually closed the gates and trapped us in to where we couldn't leave, Cooper testified. According to his account, one exit was blocked by security personnel while attackers swarmed the other side of the backstage area. Cooper said he initially struck one of the approaching men and momentarily lost his footing. He then found himself fighting YG and a man he described as YG's bodyguard. I'm going to assume that that's Gloves, who, that's the guy that K7 had the leaked audio where K7 was saying that Gloves actually was passing out knives that they smuggled into the back. So we don't know if that's...
Yeah, they definitely want to put this dude Gloves involved in this situation. I can see that this situation is going extremely bad, extremely bad. I can see that this situation is not going to work out well. I could already see it, because there's just so many police reports and so many different things coming out. And if this can be proven in a civil suit, it can for sure be proven in a criminal suit.
True, but it's kind of notable that Coop's testimony basically says that Gloves, who I'm going to assume was YG's bodyguard, was all up in the mix right next to YG in that moment. And then YG produced a knife from his left hand, Cooper testified, describing the weapon as appearing to emerge from Jackson's sleeve. And when I saw that, I just backed up. As the confrontation continued, Cooper said the attackers moved towards Draco and swarmed over him. Police arrived almost simultaneously, according to Cooper, and began breaking up the fight. Cooper described the weapon that he attributed to YG as a silver blade approximately 3 or 4 inches long. By the way, shout out to the LA Times for providing this hard-hitting journalism.
This is crazy work, bro. The LA Times is reporting that Draco the Ruler was stabbed by YG.
He said he did not see a handle and compared its appearance to an improvised prison shank. He was slashing at me with it, like getting me to back up, Cooper testified. He said that he was not stabbed. Cooper said that he saw two other men standing near YG with...
He wasn't stabbed, but he's now attesting that YG tried to stab him. So that's him saying that YG tried to unalive Draco the Ruler's bodyguard. That is crazy work. That is crazy work. That is crazy work. That is crazy work. To think that YG would have ever tried to take out Draco the Ruler's bodyguard, to take his life or anything like that. Now, obviously, I do want to point out the clear facts of the case. YG clearly hasn't been charged with any of this, because if he was, he wouldn't have been at the Versus last night. So YG is not charged with any of this. This is just things that he's accused of. No actual convictions have been made. No actual jail time has been given out. You know, it's just, it is what it is, though. But goddamn.
Similar weapons. He described one man as being immediately beside YG and another as positioned behind and between them. Cooper said that he concluded the men were armed after observing movements that differed from ordinary punching. Once I saw the stabbing, jabbing motion, Cooper testified that he tried to move away from those individuals. Cooper described one of the other men as a bald black man, approximately 5'9" or 5'10" tall, with light brown or hazel eyes and a blue patterned crew neck shirt. He described the third as a similarly sized black man with dreadlocks, but said that he couldn't remember the man's clothing. And he said that YG was 6'1". And Cooper acknowledged that YG was wearing a black mask that only exposed the area around his eyes. He said that the man also wore a black bomber-style jacket. If it was a leather vest, then we would definitely know that it was YG.
The fact that this nigga is identifying these people, and he is an eyewitness, and he's making it clear, like, yeah, I seen all this, that's going to be hard to beat in court. It's always hard to beat an eyewitness. It's always hard to beat somebody saying, nah, I seen that shit.
That's how he could make the identification without much of the man's face covered. Cooper said that he met YG a lot, and he recognized his eyes, body type, height, walk, and demeanor. And he said that they taunted Draco during the conversation. Like, is that Draco? Is that who I think it is? What do you want to do? And now we finally got him. Cooper also reported hearing blood gang expressions, including Sue Woo and Sub Blood, and seeing individuals beating their chests. Earlier in the deposition, Cooper said that he had previously intervened when the two rappers encountered each other outside a recording studio. That's really interesting. And do you remember?
You know, I bet you he's going to bring up the fact that people are saying that Draco popped YG in the hip.
Should I find it? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Top 5 YG Brick Baby. Is this clip just going to come right up? No? All right, fuck it then. But at one point, Top 5 said that he saw Brick Baby and YG basically have like a standoff with, I forget if he specified that there were guns drawn, but he basically said that there was like a situation with Draco and Brick Baby and a few other people, and they all saw YG, and it got super weird. So that's interesting that Coop like points it out right there. And YG approached Draco and said, "What's up with that? With all that internet stuff?" Okay. Cooper also cited Draco's song "Ingleweird," and he
my nigga Brick Baby always in the mix, even when he ain't in the mix, ain't he? Free to break.
Also recalled a summer 2021 interview. This is from No Jumper with YG.
Who would have thought? No Jumper involved in the police investigation again.
And two other artists, in which, according to Cooper, someone said, "We don't do that internet stuff. The homie's gonna get you." Well, it would seem that the homies did not get him, and that YG may have got him himself. This shit is fucking crazy. The only thing I can even really think to compare it to is like the Lil Durk situation. YG might not be quite like at the top of his game the same way that Lil Durk was when he went down for his case. But if this really ends up getting prosecuted, then we're going to be looking at a situation in which YG, as a celebrity...
Can you imagine if it comes down to YG getting in trouble for being the one to actually take the life of Draco the Ruler. That would be incredible, bro. Talk about a plot twist.
Superstar, an artist who's had unprecedented success in the LA street market and beyond, threw it all away so that he could take out a rival. Now, if you believe Flacco, Flacco claims that, in fact, Frankenstone is the one who launched the final attack on Draco that allegedly killed him. Based on everything that I saw Coop say here, it would appear that he's not actually
The dude Frankenstein's not even mentioned in this. Flacco's just bringing this guy up for whatever reason, and it doesn't even make sense.
Actually saying that YG delivered the final blow. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, there's been times where I've been with like Draco's people and they just like have said stuff about YG that kind of like stood out to me. And when I think about it now, it's kind of like a lot more obvious to me that like people were kind of trying to tell me without telling me that YG was like directly involved. So will this actually end up in a case?
Man, the way you niggas keep talking, hell yeah, it's gonna end up in the case. This situation is for sure gonna end up in the case the way you niggas keep talking about the thing. Man, this situation is wild work. Wild, wild, wild work. And I mean, but you know, when it's all said and done, you make the bed you lay in, you get what you get. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We just gotta make sure. I don't know, man. Everybody just gotta really do better out here because this situation just makes no sense. We're talking about multi-millionaires, platinum recording artists, niggas who made it out the ghetto, getting into this type of flummery.
I don't know. I don't really see why it wouldn't. It seems like a pretty
Nigga, why does YG have gel-made weapons at all?
high likelihood that this is just going to turn into YG being charged with the murder. Is it 100%? No, not really. But one eyewitness is pretty damn good, you know? What if they can find some weapons? What if they can find somebody on YG's side who's willing to snitch?
What if they find somebody who passes a bottle to the person who did the unaliving every day?
I don't know. That's probably the kind of thing that they're leaning into at this time. But either way, this is crazy. This is absolutely one of the biggest stories in the history of LA rap if YG seriously goes down for this. I mean, who else in the history of LA rap, if you were to pull up like the top 20 LA rappers of all time, I don't think you can really find one that crashed out in.
Nah, not like this. Nobody does this type of stuff.
Really find one that crashed out in this sort of manner. Obviously, the Tupac thing stands out. I'm going to say it again. He's not an LA rapper. But, damn, dude. If this is serious, then YG is the dumbest motherfucker ever. But I guess we'll just have to see. If you guys enjoyed this news style video, please smack a like button down below.
Man, so we're gonna see what's going on, bro. This situation is barbaric, and I'm not really understanding how dudes have continued to make these type of mistakes. We're seeing what's going on in the real world, but it is what it is. We finna get up out of here to the next one, man. Red dots to the left, you know the rest. Say a prayer and be blessed. We go.